What is up, my friends? Welcome to my channel. And here is an update on my portfolio. I did make a video earlier today explaining how I'm just, still selling puts and calls. And the reason why I changed my mind and decided to once again get out of all of these ETFs, like for example this one, QQQI and SPY. Now, I don't dislike these ETFs. I think they're good ETFs. And you buy them, you own them, and every month they'll pay you something. But if we look at, for example, let's look at SPY, SPYI from Neos. And like I said, I do like the ETF. I like the fact that it pays a monthly dividend. And of course, it's using a covered call strategy to be able to pay you that monthly distribution. And so I've started doing options myself, and it's been going well. It's been profitable for me. So even just today, just for choosing a strike price and um, an option that expires today on the day, and of course it's already expired because the market is closed. But just today, I already made $230 today. I didn't have to wait a month. I didn't have to hold on to anything. I didn't even own anything, right? The only thing I really own is a Robinhood stock. Now, of course, I do own other ETFs that I am now gonna unload. I bought most of these yesterday. That'll show up here on this list. Bought them yesterday because there was somewhat of a dip yesterday. So as you guys can see here, TDAC, I did own some shares, but those sold off. Now I only own 0.29% or 0.29 shares. I own this SPY-G. I own QQQI, SCHI, KYLD, and of course 100 shares of Robinhood. So I'm going to be selling these off. I'm going to be getting rid of all this because I really just want to do options myself. Because if I do options myself, then I get paid every day because I sell daily options. So I get paid on the day, and since I'm doing puts, I don't actually have to own shares of SPY. So if we go over to SPY, SPY, let's take a look at that, and I'll show you guys the put that I sold today. When you sell puts, you don't have to actually own the shares, right? All you have to have is the collateral to be able to buy 100 shares, which I had the collateral to be able to buy 100 shares. Plus, I guess I'm going to be receiving this dividend, $600 dividend here, probably later on today or tomorrow, I guess. But if we scroll all the way down, I'll show you guys how much I made today from selling a put on SPY. So just today, from selling a put on SPY, I made $120. So early in the morning, like around 6 in the morning, 6:30, sometime after 6:30, I look at the market, I open up the option chain, and I want to make at least over $100. So I decided to, when you open up the option chain and you see you can see how high options are selling for. You can see the high and low of what an option is selling for. So I always try to target the high. So the highest price of the day was $1.20. And so I got $1.20 times 100, $120 from SPY for today. So if I was just to hold SPY-I, for example, well, you have to hold it for the whole month, and then you get paid right at the end of the month. But with this, I make money every single day, every trading day, every time I sell an option. And so now let's look at QQQ, and you guys will be able to see just how much I made on QQQ. Same thing, right? I'm selling a put option. So if we scroll all the way down, you'll be able to see that I sold it for $112 right here. So this was yesterday, this was the day before. So I've been consistently making at least $100 or over $100, as you guys can see here. So with the option that I sold on SPY and this option, it's about $230 earned today, right? Or that I received in premium today. And soon my buying power will return to, I think it was over 500,000. If we scroll up to the top of here, you'll be able to see that my collateral is still being held. So if we go here, this is the buying power, this area here. If we open this up, you'll be able to see that there's still option collateral right here of $131,000 that is being held for those two options that I sold earlier today. But as soon as this clears up, that will all go right back into my buying power. And so this number will increase to about over 500,000. And of course, I will rinse and repeat and just do it all over again tomorrow. I mean, not tomorrow, on Monday. And so I was thinking about it, like I'm selling calls every day and getting paid every day. So, on average, there are 20 days in a month. So on average, I can get paid 20 times, right? Instead of just getting paid one time. So yeah, after thinking about that, I was like, wait a minute, why would I own SPY or QQQI when those only pay on a monthly basis, and I can own or I can sell options myself and get paid every single day, right? Far better to get paid every single day. Not only that, if we actually look at this comparison tool here, I know I've shown this before. Some people don't like this comparison. I'm actually comparing SPY, the S&P 500, to SPY. SPY is based on SPY. Some people don't like this comparison, but nonetheless, here's the comparison in total return. As you guys can see, total return includes dividends. So it includes dividends reinvested. SPY has now been around for over 3 years, so it's got a long track record. And as you guys can see, it is lagging behind. It is falling behind SPY. If you look over here in this area, when it first kind of started out, it seemed like to actually be beating the S&P 500, or at least keeping up with it a lot more, until after this dip. Soon after this dip is where it kind of split here, and the S&P 500 outperformed SPY. Now, of course, if you're going to own SPY, you already know that you're not going to beat the S&P 500. Even though SPY is based on the S&P 500, you're going to underperform. And even myself, if I sell options myself, I'm probably going to underperform as well, maybe, right? I mean, there may be some possibility that I may outperform by doing it myself. But of course, more than likely, I may not outperform. Now, the difference here is that I guess the guys at Neos are doing a once a month, right? They're selling calls once a month and paying you once in the month. I'm selling calls every single day, or I'm selling options every day and making premium every day. So I'm maintaining my principal, right? My principal is not eroding. I'm keeping all my principal. I'm maintaining all my principal. And I'm getting paid something every day so long as I'm selling options every single day. And so the only risk is that, I guess, if my collateral gets called away and I happen to own 100 shares of SPY. So what's the problem with that? There is no problem with that, because I'll just turn around and start selling calls every single day, getting premiums every single day. Now, there is another ETF that I guess they sell calls every single day. It's T-SPY from Tap Alpha. These guys say that they're selling, or I don't know if they're selling calls every day. I think they are. I think that's what they're up to. Or they're just using, the best opportunity. But if as you can see here, let's look back at the 1 year, because that hasn't been around as long. So as you guys can see here, in total return in the past year, if we just look at the past year, I mean, they all look like they're fairly performing in line with the S&P 500. But the further out you look, like, if you go 3 years out, obviously SPY is underperforming, and eventually I'm pretty sure that T-SPY will underperform. But T-SPY, I guess, is selling calls every single day. And, it looks like it's, not doing very bad. This includes dividends reinvested. Of course, if we change this over to just price return, if we change that to price return, as you guys can see, they are, they're not losing you your principal, right? They're positive. T-SPY is positive by 0.27%, and SPY is positive 2.33%. So you haven't lost your money by buying this, but it's surely not performing as well as the S&P 500 because they're paying you that money. They're paying you those dividends. And so I think I am far better off doing it myself because I can make money every single day. Now, if you're unable to make money every single day, because it takes like about over $60,000 to sell, or to sell calls and puts on the S&P 500, because you need to be able to purchase 100 shares. So, of course, if you don't have, over $60,000, then I could see the appeal, I guess, of owning SPY, right? If I didn't have the money that I have, then probably I would own SPY. I would probably own QQQI. I'd probably just be buying those and building up this portfolio using SPY, QQQI, T-SPY, TDAC, probably some SGov for greater, probably SPY-G, SCHG, to get some more performance, I guess. That's probably what I would be doing. I would just be, trying to build a portfolio like that pays me money. But I think I'm far better off just doing it myself and making money every single day. So the one mistake that I did make is selling a put on Robinhood. I wish I hadn't done that, but I did do that, and so now I have 100 shares of Robinhood stock, and as you guys can see, it is down to $99. And so, will this bounce back to $111 or $112, which is what I basically own it for right here? So I believe it will, hopefully. In the meantime, I'll just continue to sell calls on it. So that's what I'll do. So now if we look over here at this fear and greed index, as you guys can see, we're in greed, which is pretty good. Although earlier today we were neutral, but we're in greed, and probably we're going to be going back into greed more now after all this stuff has gone on. So thanks for watching. Please do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I really would appreciate it if you guys got any comments, any questions, please leave them down below. I will read them and I will get to your comments and questions if you have any. Thank you so much. You guys have a great one. God bless. We will catch you in the next video. Bye.